start recording, and we are. Let's go ahead and officially kick this off. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Power AMA on February 20th. And this time is flying. Can you guys believe Power is this 4 months old? November? Or am I counting wrong, or is it 3 months? God, it feels like 6 years.
Three. It feels like years, but it's been 3 months.
Yes, you're right. It was December 11th.
11th.
Right? Yes, December 11th. God, it feels like 9 months. Oh, all right. Well, let's kick this off. Right now, we just have us three. I know Kai said he was going to be a little late. No big deal. Things I just wanted to talk about, wanted to keep the community up to date with. There's a lot going on with energy. Today, please unstake anything you got in the farms just to be safe as we transition into the new. I know there's a lot of questions on how to unstake. There's a lot of questions what to do with it after. And we're going to just ask, don't sell it. Don't sell. The market's already kind of ugly. We're not trying to transition and get people to just sell everything they've got. That was not the purpose. And the timing, sadly, just lined up with when the last block for the energy distribution ended was today. So I got a bunch of questions as to why we did it today in such a bad market. It was not planned for today. It was according to the ending, the block number. So it could have been a couple days before, a couple days after. It truly depends on all the transactions. So with that being said, it was not meant to be ended today, but today was the ending date. Don't just dump your energy because it has utility, as Ronan mentioned as we kick this off. Energy will have utility and it will have a future use, and it's not meant to be traded back and forth just for profits. So I hope that's not what a lot of people were doing, and we'll see here in the future as we get into the new farms. We from what we do know, Ronan, correct me if I'm wrong, and Andos, the current farms will transition into a power energy farm and then a power phantom farm.
Correct.
And I know there's been a lot of information out that nothing's been officially sent from maybe the mod team. I know Cut has come in and said multiple things. Does anybody from the mod team know if there's going to be a true just energy farm? I want to say I seen something, but nothing was told to me.
So I'm reading Cut's statement now, and he says we will have a new farm where both power and energy can be staked to earn power. Now, what's unclear to me is that power by itself and energy by itself? Is it a power LP and an energy LP? Is it a power energy LP? Is it an energy phantom LP? I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, no, the only ones we do know, there will be a power and energy LP. We do know that. That's at least what he said today. Correct?
Well, that's a power phantom LP.
Oh, yeah, no, there's the power energy LP as well.
Okay. I mean,
maybe
it's not exactly clear. Yeah, I don't know. It can be interpreted both ways, but he did say that the farms will be available. When the hell did he say? Tomorrow?
I see what you're saying. I am reading that. Well, see, because I asked for clarity because he mentioned spooky. I'm like, when you say spooky, you mean phantom, right?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about single siding staking. I think there is just going to be the two pools, like you mentioned.
It'll be two pools. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. He might add single sided as well or afterwards, but I believe initially it's just the two pools.
Yeah, I think it's mostly for the liquidity. So, but that more to come on that. So that's what I want to lead down to is there's going to be more to come. I know the questions are going to be what else is energy going to be used for. We have been given some insight in the Cut questions where he says it will be used for NFTs down the road. No idea what that means. Does that mean we'll have to use energy for minting of power NFTs when those come out? If they come out, when? No idea. I also know it's the governance token for voting. He's trying to transition us out of the Discord voting, which truly want to get out of that myself. I really do like snapshot voting. But if we can do something better where we utilize our energy token as its weighted vote, I think that would be pretty awesome as well. So,
I believe he's mentioned lottery as well. These things are
yes.
reliant on the V2 contract. So for now, we know about the staking pools, but obviously when V2 drops, I'm pretty confident he'll unleash a bit more utility.
Yeah, well, and Cuts, like we said before, he's very forward thinking. The team, I know they're not very vocal in the Discord, but they are very forward thinking and watching the space. I know that for a fact. They're watching what's going on around them. I just wish I could be more involved because I've been reaching out about
I'm
NFTs.
usually
Go ahead.
I'm usually surprised by how much they're aware based on how much they participate. You know, like they're reading everything.
Yeah. And so for those who, again, we kind of talk as if everybody, 371 people in here, knows us. I know there's a lot of new faces. Please remember, we are the mods. We are the faces of this protocol. In a sense, we have zero control other than the Discord. So just want to put that out there. Make sure people understand where we are coming from. We do have direct connection to the devs. They do talk to us daily. There's a dev chat. There's a moderator chat where we ask our questions and he communicates. And then when other things are going on the side, I'm pretty sure Ronan, you also have DMs with him, but I have DMs directly to Cut where I'm asking him pertinent information I need to help get to the Discord. So I just wanted to put that out there. Make sure everybody knows where the moderators come from. The community manager. I'm not a front end dev. I've been asking him to change that title for a while now. I am not a front end. I'm just the community manager. So put that out there. Make sure everybody knows and understands. Let's jump into the DAG. We did purchase the DAG coin tokens, and if you guys noticed, you cannot create the soft nodes until the first of the month. So correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 5 that we will be making. I think he purchased in lots. I think it's in lots of 52,000 if I'm not mistaken. Looking at it now. Oh, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 34,000. No, I gotta look at it again. That's the wrong picture I shared. But we did purchase the DAG tokens, and the nodes will be created on the first of the month. I can't find the picture, but they were purchased. Oh, maybe it's in current investments. So the DAG was purchased, and then I did get confirmation that Cut did purchase the Avalanche validator node. He is in work setting it up. So that's awesome. I've asked him for the transaction so I can add it to current investments as well. Have not gotten that yet. So just wanted to share. It was 250. Oh, that's where it is. The current investments for the DAG. It was, yes. So values, we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different soft nodes will be made, if I'm not mistaken, off the current investment of 222,000. Well, that's the dollar value now. I don't know if DAG's gone down, but I think the initial investment was 250,000. All right, so that was the DAG, the validator node. So that's huge. Building out power as we are getting into validator nodes and transitioning from the DeFi as a service and now into nodes as a service. Having one on each network, I think, is a good thing for us and the ecosystem, depending on what's going to be built with energy. So that's good. That's another move in the right direction. And energy, we talked about energy. And then Ronan, if you want to talk before we start bringing up any questions or anything, do you want to talk about the UI? I know that's going to be probably the hot topic off of that and energy today.
Yeah. So I want to talk a couple things about the UI's impact on price, first and foremost. When this UI launches, do not expect a pump. The price is already factored in a new UI coming. So, if you think the UI is going to save Power's current price, you're sadly mistaken. I'm sorry to be delivering that news, but it's just not going to happen. However, it'll be shiny, it'll attract new investors, we can market it a little bit. There's lots of great things that are come with it, but, no one's getting Lambos off a new UI. That being said, we handed it off to Cut. There was a couple things that only the contract owner could do for us that we couldn't properly test. That's been done. It's been given back to us now. So it's been checked out by Cut. He did what he needed to do. It's back with us. We are currently testing it. So it's up on the internet somewhere. It's clickable. We're using it and we're making sure that everything works. We're going to try to break it because we haven't had the greatest track record of launching bug-free stuff, and we're trying to end that. So this is going to be tested out a bit to make sure that it all works, and then it'll be released to the community. I don't have an 8 ETA. It doesn't seem to be broken, so I don't think there's too much maintenance or fixes that we're going to have to do. But I think once the mod team and the community managers kind of sign off that it's been good and working, then we can orchestrate with Cut as far as putting it up on the live production server, and we can give everybody a firm ETA that we will in fact hit. Once we do that, we'll know that it is working and it'll go out on the date we say it's going to go out. So we've made a ton of great progress. It's working. It looks good. We got all the feedback we needed from Cut. All systems go on the new UI.
Yeah, good points on the already factored in cost or price, right? It's just something new for us. I think the biggest thing for what Ronan and Dabs have been working on is trying to fix what was initially supposed to be, we weren't supposed to have a God mode, and there's some kind of glitch or catch in there that has been stopping it. And to me, that's one of the big things Ronan's going to fix, which he already said he deleted the line of code and he's making it right. So I want to make sure as we get into the new UI, and that's where these guys are killing it. So with that,
I was laughing, man. I was in there like checking out some of this stuff, and I saw if is God mode, and I was like, oh come on, like it's right there. So yeah, it's gone. I took great pleasure in deleting it.
yeah. So getting that stuff out of there, and then, man, I forgot what I was gonna say about the energy farm. So that's the other thing that with the ending date coming on today, our struggle was, do we try to push for the UI to be same time? And so what we had to do was try to alter this where the farms and people being able to unstake isn't then altered or what's the word I'm looking for? Messed up by now implementing a new UI that could potentially have bugs. So the UI had to get pushed, had to go back a little bit further so that this could happen. So trying to keep those separate, making sure you guys get your stuff out of the farms, and that way we can transition into the new ones. Talking with Cut for the energy ones, that should be coming within the day, 24 hours from the ending of the existing energy into the next farms. And then the UI, which Ronan, I think you guys are checking on the new farms and what's going to be needed on the new UI for that, right?
Yeah, so we definitely don't want it to add too much change to the system while we're transitioning. So we haven't touched the farms as far as the UI. We're going to make sure everybody's out of it with this transition.
Yeah.
And then introduce new UI for the farms shortly thereafter. So we're being very cautious and we're being responsible. We don't want to introduce UI bugs on top of potential energy issues. So,
Yep.
We don't want to muddy the waters too much.
Exactly. That's all I've got. New UI. Andos, you got anything?
Nope. Sorry, mate. You covered it.
All right. Well, then let's open up the floor. I'm going to start opening my Reese's Pieces and get ready for some questions. Raise your hand if you guys want to come up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns. Crypto Dave is our first one. What's up? You gotta hit accept. Welcome to the stage. You're on mute.
You guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got you.
All right. So just had a couple questions. First of all, I'm new to Power. I've been in Thor and Strong and a couple other ones. And if you guys have talked about this in your past AMAs, forgive me. I'll have to go back and listen. But I just would like to know like what the strategy is to kind of get away from, the Ponzinomics and really build utility to last for the long term. Like, is there anything that you can talk about, like
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
we're headed in that direction?
Absolutely. So if you are in Thor, you do know we are, I don't want to say we're partners in the Union of Transparency. Our devs
Yep.
work directly with the Thor devs, like directly with them. The Union of Transparency put them together. They are working on version 2 together. So whatever Thor's, I don't want to say whatever Thor is getting is the same we're getting, because our developers take it and add their spin to it and their pieces to it. So version 2 is our getting away from the Ponzinomics and the sell pressure issues. The Ponzinomics is going to be our investments, and we're constantly trying to move away from just relying on new investors, obviously, right? But making our investments, growing the ecosystem with the energy, as we're learning more about energy, as us mods don't have a full grasp of everything that's going to come with it. He's giving us very little pieces at a time. So those are some of the steps getting us away from that. If you're already in Thor, you see that they're talking about their version 2 staking lotteries as well. We're going to be going down the same path.
All right, great. Yeah, and I know in Thor they're also talking about, the whole NFT platform and, getting into the Metaverse and the PTE.
Mhm.
Are those some similar things that we might be looking at with Power in
I'll be
future?
honest, I have not on our side. So NFTs have not even been discussed on our side, at least with the community and the moderators. With me and the moderators, we have not been given any info on that. I would hope that we would have some input into NFTs and being designed, and that has not come to us yet. The P2E that Thor is doing is completely separate. I don't think we're going that direction, and if we do, it would be down the road. Our team is much smaller than the Thor team, and they're hiring and bringing on people every day. Whereas over here, it's not happening every day. We have the core team; they are working on version 2. They're doing what they got to do, and then what happens with us? We're there to help, but we don't get to steer the direction of the protocol. So we give ideas, we give tips, we give, hey, like this would be a great idea, and it's up to the dev team and if how they decide they want to move forward with that.
All right, great. Last two quick questions. I'm not sure. Has there been a reduction in rewards to Power yet?
So yes, January 1st, I want to say was we reduced our rewards before everybody, before Thor. Um, we dropped to 1.4 on the highest tier, and even lower on the other tiers. We reduced long before everybody. So that was
Okay.
something that the dev team realized early, was reducing the rewards was huge for sustainability, and we did it long before. If you're coming from Thor, you see what they're dealing with the cuts and the drama
Yep.
that was created there. We had very similar drama in the beginning of January, but it was much more understood at that time, and it was more well received. Whereas they dropped rewards and then have to drop each one at different times. It's just being drug out a little bit, is I guess the word I could use. But yes,
Yeah.
we did have a rewards reduction long ago, and it has not come up again. Something that we need to do, as obviously we have to stay. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Comparable for the market rate, right? We go too low, nobody
Sure.
wants to purchase here.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for answering those questions. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, I got a quick point I forgot to make in the beginning. I wanted to give the bullish assessment of Power right now, and this isn't me shilling. This is me, assessing the situation with what I know about the contract and the development and what's going on here and what we experienced in the past. So I just want to give the community a little outlook on what's going on here in this market conditions and what you should expect, and what's going to happen in the near term future. The price of power right now is $12.89, which I'm sure there's a bunch of you who noted up in like the 40-ish range that are kind of upset right now, and rightfully so. But I want everybody to understand something here. And why I'm extremely bullish on power right now. What's going to happen here is our new UI is going to launch, in corporation with, some energy power farms or whatever, which is all well and good, but that's just like a little baby step on what's going to happen here. The next thing that's going to happen is V2 is going to launch at sometime in the near future. Let's call it, I don't know, I'm being conservative, 4 to 6 weeks out. When that happens, we are a ring fork that is constantly pushing our price down into the ground from our contract selling. That contract selling is going to go away. And once that goes away, we're going to have actual market action, which this project has never had. Noting up and claiming rewards, has effect on our contract. Well, I guess claiming rewards not so much anymore since we turned it off. But
Yeah.
anyways, our contract kills itself, right? So that's going to go away. Once V2 drops, all sorts of great stuff is going to happen. Like, we're going to be able to get audited, because why would you audit a contract that's going away? You don't. So the new contract comes out, it's going to get audited. That's going to bring a lot of positivity in here. That's going to bring extra marketing opportunities here. So once we have a contract that's not bleeding itself out, we start marketing it, we start getting real price action, it's going to start going in the right direction. It's going to start going up. And then the greatest thing of all is going to be utilizing our treasury for buybacks. There's going to be profits inside of our treasury, and the contract itself is going to be able to buy power in the market, driving the price up and dumping that power into our rewards pool. We are not doing it right now because why? Why would we be dumping our precious treasury dollars into something that's just going to tank itself? So we're not doing that right now. When that kicks in, this thing is going to skyrocket and everyone is going to be thrilled. So you guys should be pounding your bear drums right now, driving this thing into the ground and buying up as much as you can, because 3 months from now, you're going to be like, huh, that's the greatest thing I ever did.
And it's not even a question. Like, you know it's going to happen. Like, we know the contract's creating the sell pressure. We know the new contract's going to fix it. So it's not a matter of if or when.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's for the new people who haven't been around and understanding why we haven't done buybacks. Cut has been very clear. And if you guys have noticed, Thor kind of hasn't really been doing those anymore either, because the constant sell pressure. When you do the buybacks, it just creates a pump to then dump. They have a much better price action than us, and it got them there. They also have a much larger team. But Cut has said, we have a healthy, I don't even know, what are we sitting on now with our treasury?
Just under 6 million, I think.
Just under 6 million. So we've pushed Cut to try to, how about every day do a little bit here, do a little bit there. He was very adamant about that it's just going to waste the treasury money, and he doesn't want to do that. So that's our financial advisor on the backside, and what Ronan and Andos just said is, why waste it? We get it. We're getting down. We got down to 47 cents. If you guys who are new here, we got all the way down to 47 cents at one point during Christmas. We call those the dark days around here. But even during that time, we were asking for buybacks, get us out of this floor, and we got all the way back up to 40. So right now we're just in a market downtrend, as everybody knows, and so don't let that be the reason to bring us down. It's understanding what this project can do and what will happen once we get out of the version 1, and our devs have that on their mind.
I just want to touch on something quickly too before we take this next question. In regards to what Davo was saying before in the previous question, Cut, we might not know exactly what Cut plans with future utility NFTs, maybe PvE and all that type of stuff as well, but he drops hints along the way, and then out of nowhere he'll say, boom, there it is. Like he did with the tier system. He he gives you an idea that something might happen, and the next day he just messages it and say, "Oh, it's ready," and there it is, and he kind of just drops it on you.
No, I'm working on fixing that, Andos. We can't have that
Yeah.
again.
So when we say we don't know if it's going to happen, like he has mentioned NFTs, like
Yes.
he has mentioned that. He hasn't given exact details. He hasn't said what the utilities are, but he has mentioned it, and he was pretty confident when he did mention it. So like, I wouldn't be shocked if he just one day pops up and says, "Oh, here it is," you know what I mean, and it's just there. So that's why I invested in energy.
I wouldn't
those
be
messages
surprised
like,
either. Sadly, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'll be honest with you that I still have flashbacks to the morning I woke up and the tears were dropped after we told him that there was things that needed to be worked on. But anyway, we're working on that communication. It has gotten a lot better. So hopefully
it has got better.
yeah,
Yeah.
we do know NFTs are coming. We just don't know when. I got to do my part, I guess, and then push a little bit harder and see how much faster we can get those. If I can start getting some information, some designer, somebody to start working on it, and then get him to pay for it. So we gotta,
I think
gotta go.
I think a lot of clarity will come with V2. I think that's when everything will kind of come together.
Yeah, they'll be able to shift their focus from V2 to what their roadmap needs to be, right? Or what the roadmap was.
Yeah.
Venusaur.
A Venusaur. All right,
Venusaur.
so just to kind of go off from what you guys were saying about the price, so we went down to 40 cents before, and you guys also mentioned it's going to take maybe 4 to 6 weeks for this new V2 to come out, maybe less, but let's just say 4 weeks, right? So now, just so everybody might, so people stop freaking out or stop thinking about it, or they just forget the project, call it a rug. How low would you think this would go, right? If there's 4 to 6 weeks left, it was at 40, it's at 15 now, somewhere around there.
It can go
What
to a
price would
penny.
you say, like, hey, if it gets here, don't be nervous?
Well, hey, I'm gonna
We'll
say
be okay.
because
of the constant sell pressure.
No, so
right?
yes and no. So hold on. Let me go back to Christmas. What happened at Christmas was totally different. Our dev got sick and they were on holiday, so that they took a vacation and went on vacation, and then our lead dev got sick with COVID. And so things got really murky during Christmas. Like that was completely different than what's happening now. We're just in a bear market. It's just the whole market's down. This is completely different. Is all I want. I'm trying to separate the two. The Christmas time, Ronan, you and Andos, you guys can attest to it. Even we were struggling with what was going on. We weren't getting communication from the devs. That's why we went to 47 cents.
Yeah,
So,
when the market was fine and flourishing everywhere else, and then suddenly we have 11 projects rug or something in that week period, which just happened to be in DeFi, and caused an absolute nightmare. That definitely drove price down. Whereas now it's like, well, the entire market's down. Things like strong at $300.
Isn't this situation a little bit worse than? Well, I mean,
No.
the situation of the constant sell pressure is always there.
Yes.
But isn't it kind of like now it's like, okay, we're on a downtrend, and everybody knows about this sell pressure, so nobody wants to buy. So don't you think that we'll probably go that low again?
I think now it's a little bit better in the sense that, well, we know exactly what the problems are, and we also know that there's a solution and nearly finished the solution.
Yeah, we're
I think
moving.
light at the end of the tunnel is right there. Whereas before a solution was a long way off. Now we know it's just around the corner.
Yeah, and we've always been transparent. Even during Christmas, we knew about the ring port issue. So saying that now is worse. We have a team that's constantly moving. We're doing weekly AMAs. We're things are happening. Whereas in Christmas time, I'd love somebody to come up and talk about Christmas other than the moderators, because it was a much different time. We weren't even getting communication at the time. He was sick, dealing with COVID, couldn't, in all fairness, and he came back and we started moving again. So the locomotive, so to speak, started moving again.
For every person you have selling now out of potential fear, you're going to have another person buying with anticipation for the new contract to fix the issue. I think you have your initial fall because of market. DeFi seems to get hit a lot harder than most other projects. But I mean, you'll have the initial fear, it's crashing. and then you'll have, oh, V2's coming out, V2's going to fix this, and you're going to have these people buying this opportunity, and then I don't know. I think the biggest part of the drop's already done. I think it's going to stabilize, which it seems to be stabilizing. I think.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Considering the market and some of the ones I've seen this week in particular, we've been doing pretty well. So I get it. The market has got a lot of people scared, and I don't want to use that as a notion to say it's worse, because it could change tomorrow. Dealing with what's going on in the world, we got to really take a look at what's going around us, and not just in our space. And that's what drives us, right? The scares of what's going on in other parts of the world right now, and talks of World War III. This is what we get. The entire market, I mean, from stocks to DeFi, feel it.
Yeah, if Bitcoin turns around and goes to 44, 45K again, and then power still drops another 20%, then you'll start questioning, well, it's a bit weird. I don't know. I just don't see that happening. I think Bitcoin turns around, everything else turns around. It seems to be the way it goes.
Yeah.
Even with the contract.
I'm just knowing what we know about how this contract works and what's coming, like, I don't, quite frankly, if you're using pure logic, the price right now just doesn't matter. It can go to a penny. If it goes to a penny, I'm going to buy 8 million nodes. Like, it's fine. It whatever low it hits, it's coming up.
Go ahead. You were breaking up.
Exactly. That's what I was wondering. I was wondering if the sell was so bad that doesn't matter if somebody buys it.
You're breaking up really. Can you guys hear him?
Breaking up at my end as well.
Yeah, so the sell pressure is the same as it was before, as it is now.
Oh, cool.
All right, but I hope we answered. Are you there? All right. Well, I appreciate the question. I'm sorry we kind of got broke up. We're not. Maybe send it in. You know what I need to do is I need to open up the AMA channel real quick. That way people can send messages. So if you didn't get it 100% answered, by all means post it in the AMA questions above. But the sell pressure is the same as it was before, as it is now. We're moving. This team, the dev team, the things are moving in the right direction. We actually have a social media manager who's helping on Twitter, which has been exploding. So fully utilizing our marketing hasn't even come into play as well. We haven't been given, like, the mod team hasn't been given a budget to try to get some YouTubers and different aspects of social medias or the dev team hasn't started doing that either. So there's still a lot more that can be done. Let's go ahead and let's keep trying to move through these questions, you guys. There's a lot of questions right now. So I'm going to invite you up, Biscuit Legs. Come on up. Biscuit Legs. That's great.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, mate.
All right. So I just had a quick question. You might have just answered this a few people back, but I saw in the white papers for Q1 2022, submit a cross-chain proposal with Thor. Is that like to the extent right now? Is it just the V2 contract collaboration, or are we going to see like more integration between the two projects?
It's a good question. I don't have complete visibility to what they are doing. I do know for a fact the Thor devs and the Power devs work together on V2. So if it's just V2, or if it's more, I'm not aware right now.
Okay.
But that's a good question. It's something I can even further chase down and say, hey, what else could this mean? I would say with us purchasing a Avalanche validator node, and getting ourselves into that ecosystem a little bit, I would hope we could build something for that cross chain. I think it would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I did see Loki leak something about a hybrid protocol the other day. I'm not too sure of the details on it, but I think there might be something there.
I think the AVAX validator screams the fact that that's on its way. I mean, call me crazy, but
yeah.
Well, it's broadening the ecosystem, right, and then creating that ability. So it's good. Whether what's going to happen further, Sadly, the mod team is not completely aware, and something maybe I'll just dive into and ask the question.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, I think we got to also separate the three things. You got Thor, power, and then you got union and transparency. And union and transparency on its own is going to be its own ecosystem. So there's three different things kind of happening there. They're all separate and they're all together at the same time.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your time. That's all I needed.
absolutely. So there's a question. Kaya or Ron, can you get, or Anders, can you bring somebody else up? And I'm going to answer a couple out of the AMA questions while you guys bring up the next person. Mr. Nice Guy asks, any more reward reduction expected? Nothing has even come up on discussions that we need to do that. We lowered well before everybody else, and put us further ahead of everybody else as well by lowering rewards sooner. You guys bringing somebody up? Let's see. How do you guys plan to implement the buyback to prevent a pump and dump scenario? So our dev team is actually pretty good. And the financial advisor, I know there's multiple areas where this can be implemented, where you're doing very small buybacks every day, or large ones. I don't like the large ones where you pump, $150,000 right into the price action, because it does create a pump and dump. And Cut is really against pump and dumps. Guys, back me up on this. He hates that with a
No,
passion.
it like drives him nuts.
Yes. So implementing, I would hope they'd implement something where they look at the history of how much is being sold for the day, and then they say, okay, how much do we want to implement a month, and then they use that throughout the day, not just solely huge buybacks. But the mod team doesn't have full awareness of that just yet, but I'm definitely gonna be in the conversations, and I know Andos is pretty vocal about the buybacks as well. So we'll see how much we can influence. Who's up here?
DB.
Sorry, I'm looking at the questions over here. I open it up and it explodes. DB, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I just got a superhuman node a couple nights ago, so I'm new to you guys.
Nice.
Thanks for having me. Thanks. I've been lurking for a couple weeks because I'm a boomer and that's what we do. I'm gonna look. I know. Right. I'm gonna look at things. I'm gonna read things. I'm gonna test things. I'm gonna check the community.
That's good.
And I was really interested because you're heavy on Phantom. You got the Phantom validator first. Phantom is gonna take over this year, definitely end of year, next year probably, because AVAX is getting congested. Too many fees, too many NFTs, too many games, too many P2Es, too many dream chasers.
Mm-hmm.
And there needs to be another.
That's right. Phantom
and Ethereum.
Our devs are huge. Just so you know, our devs are huge into Phantom.
The Treasury speaks it.
Well, and I'll even go further with this. We pushed for time, and the dev told us he didn't want to, and they fought us on it. And since the community voted, he followed through with it. But then after, and when things went down, I got poked in the eye.
Y'all are the very strong protocol, the best node service on Phantom, period. And then there's, the Tomb fork does very well. But there's one other thing it's like Power and Hector DAO, which is going to be rebranded. They're on the precipice. Yep. Like y'all are next to really go nuts. Is there any talks with Hector? Because they're Phantom first, much like Power.
Mm-hmm.
They're very heavily invested. They're doing the validators. And they just came out with the Tor stablecoin. Maybe there could be some workings with that to kind of, hold each other up like a crutch for each other.
That's a good idea. I know we did have somebody in here from the Heck community who was huge there, who was helping us in the beginning, and things kind of went sideways for him personally.
Alukabe?
Yes, sir. He took a step back away from things, and things kind of got sideways. So we kind of let that cool off. We really haven't reached out to them and tried to see what's going on there. I think for us is getting past V2 before we start doing any kind of those conversations, as to be, in my opinion, to be respected, we need to get away from this ring fork. Being honest, this is we've never been never tried to hide this. We know what we're dealing with. So before we start trying to promise other partners certain things, we need to get away from our own death trap with the ring.
Absolutely. I just feel like if y'all are building some type of good base ecosystem, they're in the process of doing the same. And if you could corroborate those, it'd be a nice meld, and then just push the price for both of you, and
Yeah.
then people would have you in the same conversation all the time, because you're already number 3 on nodes as far as I'm concerned, behind Strong and Thor.
Well, I appreciate that.
I mean, as far as yeah, I mean, some things are unattainable. You can't do a Gala node. That's just nuts. But
yeah.
well,
yeah. Well, you're invested in power, which now, as if we can invest into a Gala node, which we just got a DAG, or we're going to get DAG nodes, the next one could be a Gala if we vote for it. So you could have a piece of it.
I'm glad to be here. I hope y'all can maybe look at Hector in the future, just because y'all are so both pro Phantom, and it'd probably be a good fit if possible. But I feel what you're saying. You got to get your feet stabilized first.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Good, great idea.
All right. Thanks very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Let's see. You guys want to pull up another one? Let me see what I can read in here. Node cap. There is no talks of a node cap yet. I don't think it's something. Cut has mentioned that it's not required yet. I know Thor has been mentioning it. We're right behind them in nodes, but remember, they've been paying out for the last month and a half at a much higher rate, and they had a lot more sooner. They were double us for the longest time. And just so you guys know, we do not have 23,000 nodes. We're closer to like 57,000. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ronan.
No, it's over 60. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can peep this new UI here and get the actual number.
I think it was 62 or 63. I think.
Wowzers. So yeah, so we do have quite a few. I don't know Thor's numbers. I know they used to have double for the longest time, but once they got into the hundreds, they probably slowed down just a little bit. But we do not node caps is not something on the table just yet.
We have 66,287.
Wow, that flies quiet. I could have sworn I just looked at it the other day. Well, maybe not. You know what? I'm looking at the old dev chat where it said 50s. I think it said 56,000. But that was let's see. I don't agree with the 1 penny statement. There are a lot of us who have been burnt by the same sentiment from the DAO forks. Your loyal customers who bought in at 20 plus don't want this to go so low. Brooklax, I think what he's meaning by this, he's saying don't let it. We're not going there. That's we're not going to try to let it go there either. The difference from the Christmas debacle that happened for power versus now, could it go to? We don't know. I don't want to speculate on a price. It all depends on market. We're going to continuously do what we can do. I think he was just elaborating that even if it went to a penny, he's still invested and still is here.
It doesn't matter. It just purely doesn't matter. Like, yeah, do we want to see it? No. V2 marketing buybacks, it all gets fixed. So just buy it up.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think he was just saying it does. Yeah. Don't take it as the.
I bought it 130 when I started.
Yeah.
If it goes down, I buy it again. If it goes down again, I'll buy it again. I mean.
Yeah.
DCA.
All right. Who's next? HDD. You there? Hello? Testing.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, there
Yep.
we go.
Nice. Appreciate you guys having me up. And sorry, I'm new to this whole Discord AMA stuff. I'm used to like Twitter Spaces, so I apologize if I don't respond immediately. I'm just trying to work work all these buttons. So I appreciate you guys having me up. Thanks so much for taking the time out to do this.
Absolutely.
I had a couple of questions because I am fairly new to kind of the whole node as a service type of deal. I did invest in a strong node a little while back, but it's something that I never kind of revisited, but now I'm starting to come back around. And you guys obviously came up in one of you guys came up, you along with, everyone's having Thor conversations, bringing up power at this point. And I wanted to ask you guys, because as a former market maker, I worked 10 years on Wall Street, right? So I'm big on the tokenomics and, does this actually make sense? And to me, everything works out to a mathematical equation where it's like, where do I have to be? Where does the price have to be in terms of, how many days do I need to be in this versus how many nodes do I string up? And where do I get to the break-even point to where I get my investment back? And then I'm actually in the money, right?
Yeah.
So my question to you guys is, how do you guys kind of combat the whole, because on the face, it's like, is this actually real? Where it's like, people bring up the term Ponzi-nomics, right? And I'm like, I don't think it's a Ponzi scheme at all, right? I think it's just a matter of doing the simple math. So it's like for you guys, like your tokenomics model at the end of the day, I think was maybe missing a few pieces. Have you run into the question of like, is this actually a Ponzi, or like, how do you guys combat that?
So the ring forks when these first launched, yes, they were. It was strictly solely built on new investors coming in. So if this was built with no investments on the backside and trying to then do buybacks with the treasury, yes, it was a Ponzi. 100%. That's what they, when the ring forks were made. But when Power came out, Thor came out, that wasn't their intent. Their intent was, okay, let's create these treasuries and then use the treasuries as kind of like a DAO, right? Or what's the word I'm looking for? Not venture capitalists, but they take the money
Hedge
and now
fund.
yes, there you go, something like that, where they then take the money and that's also utilized to keep the math going, as you mentioned, right? Keeping the equation moving. That's the goal. So that's how we combat it now. But were these contracts, let me start there. The contracts were originally Ponzinomics. Yes, 100%. And we've never lied about that. The devs, when they realized they forked something that had these hidden sell pressures inside of them, they didn't know this. Thor didn't know this. The Power devs didn't know this. And most any that try to fork Thor now still don't know it. And I reach out and I'm like, hey, do you know about the sell pressure? What do you mean sell pressure? Now it's very well known, but you go back a month and a half ago, nobody knew about it. What are you talking about sell pressure? And you have to sit there and explain to them. When somebody creates a node, it automatically sells it from the token that they're made into the native token, and it's moving it into different wallets. So that's what version 2 is fixing, and that shows that these projects do want to last long and do want to make it work. As you're mentioning. So that's how we fight it, being honest.
I personally think that as soon as you mention the word treasury, you kind of step away from Ponzi in general.
Yep.
I mean, because the way I said is if you stopped all node creation today and there was no new investors and the current investors had to be supported by the treasury, then there is no Ponzinomics there at all. It's current investors getting paid by a treasury investment, not reliant at all on new investors. And I think it would work perfectly fine. And then the more investors you come in, they're not paying the old investors, they're adding to the treasury, which is invested, which then pays the investors. So I don't know. I think as soon as you mention that as a treasury, I think you're already stepping away from Ponzinomics and a Ponzi in general.
So I agree with that statement. It's just that I think for me personally, like I'm a stickler for like the devil's in the details, where it's like, where are, like, if we're talking about like this being a DeFi project, what protocols, like, what are we actually investing in? Because I think where a lot of people or a lot of projects kind of not go wrong, but like kind of misstep a little bit, and it raises red flags for a lot of people, is like there's certain things that you read in a white paper that's like I don't think you guys intentionally talk about things in there that it's like, hey, this is why you should trust us. To me, that's a red flag. But I actually reading through it and I'm like, I believe in the Phantom blockchain. You guys have first very early mover advantage. And it's like, it's the team behind it and it's the intent behind it. You guys have been very communicative. So I think that's been great. But can we get more details in terms of what are we investing? What is the treasury investing in?
So it's there. Do me a favor. Current investments. I know you said you're getting new to Discord. We post first. So what happened? Let me kind of go down this road and how we invest and what we do. It's a community driven, right? So we throw out the ideas that, hey, we're ready for a new investment, and inside of treasury ideas. So if you look at under community and community information, there's a whole channel for where everybody throws out their ideas, what they feel we should invest in. We have a financial advisor behind us. So let me finish this. So the treasury ideas are thrown out there. Everybody, the mod team picks a select few, probably 10 to 12 we gather that we feel fits this narrative that will help us and help the protocol for the future, right? So we pick one. Each of us pick some, and we put a list of 10 to the financial advisor, who then takes that list and says yes to 3 or 4 of them, or says no, start over. And it's a community driven. We then put that to a vote for the community of those who own a node. That's why you have the verify your node, and you have green names and yellow names. We then, when it's done, we purchase those purchases are then put into current investments, and you can see everything we're investing in. Can it get better? And are we hoping to get better? Absolutely. I feel there needs to be a website on our dashboard where it shows all our investments and how they're doing. We're not there yet, and it needs to.
Agreed. I think, and I want to be clear to everybody listening, like I am not up here footing in any way whatsoever.
No.
I have
No, I love your question.
So like I'm all
I think we lost you. But if you look in current investments, we've got $100,000 we invested in Strong. We had $100,000 we invested in Heck, $100,000 we invested in Time, and this was all back in December. We then did another $300,000 into the Wrapped Phantom and Tomb. We purchased the validator node, the Phantom validator node, on January 15th. We also then we staked the 500,000 in Thor's validator. Then we purchased our own on February 6th. So it's all in there. All that info, we're at least for the mod team, we try to get all the information that we have and we share it.
Yeah, and every day that goes on, this treasury is getting healthier and healthier as well. I think we made the right idea with the validators. You have a stable. They're not the highest yielding returns, but I believe they're the stable ones. They give you the base, and then as we expand, you can move into more riskier investments that are high yielding to really support the rewards going out.
Yeah, and the good news,
I truly believe it's sustainable.
Yeah, and the good news is we haven't had to use it. Right, our investments. Okay, time really killed us. Being brutally honest, I'm not a financial advisor, so I try to take a little step back. I try to share all the information, but when you just look at it from my view as well, we lost a lot on time. That hurts us, but we don't need it right now, right? With our runway and the rewards pools, there's not a need to pull that money out yet to then start funding it. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys being so candid. If I could just, and thank you for having me up here and for appeasing. Like, I fully agree with you on the website. I hate Discord. It's something I despise. Like, it's just too much in terms of spamming. So the website idea, I'm all about. I'm with you on that one. I wish you guys honestly nothing but success. If I could just leave you with one piece of just feedback, and you guys kind of make what you will of this.
Okay.
Try and stay away from having discussions about price points where it's like, buy it at this point. Just stay away from all that shit, because when people hear that stuff, like I can tell you, for me personally, it makes me cringe. But then all the other shit you're saying is like, well, shit, I agree with you guys on this stuff. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I agree. The price point thing has been tough. And I'm going to, as moderators, we have no control. And so we get, and maybe just venting here a little bit, right? As the team, you get constant questions. Why is the price coming down? It's like, bro, man, I can't control the price.
I wish we never had to speak a price ever in the chat. It would make my day if it never got brought up.
Never.
No,
correct.
we
just
agree.
be like, the market's going to do what it's going to do. You don't have control over it. That simple.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I hate mentioning it, but I also don't like to ignore people's questions.
Yeah,
so I'm stuck in that part where I don't want to ignore the thousands of times it gets mentioned in the chat, but I also don't want to speak about it. So
don't even want to tell you about my DMs.
That's the hard part.
I get DMs daily, and I'm pretty sure Ronan and Andos and Mascot do too. It's why is power going down today? And it's like, oh my god, because I woke up late. I don't know.
Hook for no reason. Yeah, put you guys on the hook for no.
I had steak for dinner.
I ate steak for dinner.
It puts you guys on the hook for no reason, and people are going to remember those things where it's like, well, you said this, and it's like, come on, you forgot the 95% of the other shit I said right after that.
Yeah,
that's what I
no, and we appreciate that, and thank you for catching into that, and understanding maybe why we did. There's a little maybe a little frustration on our side because we truly can't control it, you guys. I hope you guys know that we can't control the price. We're doing everything we can with answering questions, keeping the community happy, and that's truly our job here.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys having me up, man. And I'm looking forward to future success. All the best to you guys, man. And if I can be a sounding board in any way from the financial side, and my experience can potentially help in any way, please feel free. I'm more than happy to, but I really wish you guys nothing but success. And I'm looking forward to this and hopefully stringing up some more notes.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Send me a DM. And maybe me and you can talk on the side.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry, who's talking? Is that Endos? Renegade? I can't tell.
Renegade.
Sorry. Okay, Renegade, you got it, brother.
So do me a favor. Send me a DM and learn Discord for me.
I can make you a promise the same way that the market's going to do it. Nah, I'll
there
try.
you go.
I'm definitely going to get into it. I'm going
Thank
to
you.
get into it. I appreciate it, Renegade.
Yeah. Good question, man. That was good. You guys want move one down, move one up? Let's keep this train moving. I'm gonna try to find any chance of being able to combine 5 humans into a superhuman in the new contract. Being able to buy up would really help smaller investors. I no idea. I don't think that's something coming. Go ahead, Ronan.
I don't think you're ever going to see that because the
Yeah.
whole purpose is buying on volume, right? And if you buy 5 humans and combine them or whatever it may be, like that's kind of not the point. So I don't think you're going to see it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
would it be cool? Sure, but I think that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, it's all because you could have bought those 5. Yeah, I don't see that. I just don't think contract wise it's possible either, right? You're now taking 5 humans and trying to convert that into a superhuman. I wouldn't even want to know what the contract would have to do that.
Yeah, I like I said, I think it would be awesome too, but highly unlikely. Let's put
Yep.
it that way.
Gotcha. Guare. How do we say that? Welcome to the stage.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Just want to say, like, brilliant work being here since sort of the beginning of January. See you guys doing endless amounts of work, answering all the questions and stuff. I think you've already covered my point because I was going to raise something for the newcomers, new investors to give sort of an overview, and Roni already did that, so that was fantastic. And Andos, I think the main thing that it's not a question as such, but more a statement to help with people's scared times of when the market goes down and up is a valid point that was made. So I just want to sort of reiterate it to the community because we have got like near on 500 when we was back to 200 in January times. Is the project at the moment is healthy that we're not having to dip into the treasury funds to cover the rewards for the node creations because of our investments. So that also provides us confidence, even with the price dipping as where it is now. And yes, okay, we've made a comment that it goes to 1 cent. We still wouldn't be anywhere near that. But my question would be, going forward, do we know what price point is our pinch point to say, right, now we need to start dipping into the treasury to help keep us afloat?
We don't know that yet because of the until we get onto the version 2, we really can't tell what this protocol can do. And if you understand, so when you make a node and it's selling instantly the contract, it's defeating its entire purpose, right? So we don't know that set range because and that's something I'm going to be honest. Andos was fighting tooth and nail with Cut was we're seeing $4. Is it time to buy now? $2. Cut, please do buybacks now. And Cut, our dev team was very adamant. Like, I'm not going to just pump in $100,000 and waste people's money for it to go to $11 for them to all then just sell again.
Another thing that I learned as well, though, is that if you were to say, all right, we're going to set a point, let's say if it gets to $1, we'll start buybacks. What that does is it causes whales to know that information. They create the dump, they sell at the top, they drive it down, knowing that when it gets there, they can buy back in, and then there's going to be a buyback happening around that range. It causes mass manipulation. So even if there was a theoretical number, I don't think we would be told what it was.
Yeah,
I also think it's important to note that price doesn't affect our tokenomics. You know, the rewards are going to pay as they do. You know, like, so it's the contract functions as it does at $1, $5, and $1,000. You know, so I don't think you're going to see any price-based responses at all, other than buybacks after V2.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I hope that answered your question a little bit. We don't.
It does, yeah. And it's more to give a question to help give a statement to this community to say, look how comfortable we are. Look where we've got in the 3 months that we've been running. We are building V2, like you've all said. I fully agree. That's where we're going. Let's not get too concerned about it and just keep grinding. I think the only thing that I would like to do for newcomers as well is sort of talk a bit more on the buyback situation. So that's when we're going to Treasury to effectively buy back more nodes or give back to the community from the Treasury pot. Is that the correct terminology for that?
Yes. So there's different methods we could utilize. You can either take the rewards, purchase power tokens, which then go back into the reward pool. So basically replenish it, right? Or you just purchasing it and holding it. I will say this: we did a couple over-the-counter sales, which trying to figure out what to do with those tokens. That's basic. You could either the conversation has been mentioned about burning tokens, but when you have a huge accumulation, let's say you're buying tokens, and then what do you do with those as a protocol? Do you put them back into the rewards pool, which is probably going to happen most likely, or do you burn them, right? So there's different functions that could be happening. I'm gonna strictly leave that to the devs and the financial advisor because that's over my head. But there are different avenues we could do with that.
No, I appreciate that, guys. Thanks for bringing me up and continue with the brilliant work. Very professional from you all, so I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like that guy.
I do too, man. You guys are making us feel good. I'm gonna be honest with you, we were a little nervous with energy and what was going on. This community has been one of the best I've been part of. We've been through some of the lowest of lows than any other have ever seen, and we all still have each other's back. And I want to say I appreciate that. I also, before I even completely, hopefully don't ever forget, but I got to say it now. I want to thank not only the mod team who always got my back, but the helpers have been, the Discord community helpers have been amazing. Every single one of them in some way or fashion have been helping me and the mod team stay alive is the way I'm going to use that term, because it does get, trying to keep certain things moving on the background, keeping things moving without them, and even the community. There's so many people who aren't even helpers who help tremendously, and I just want to say thank you guys before I even forget. Who's next? Do you guys mind if I get one?
We can do one more.
One in the... There's so many questions in the AMA questions. You guys are amazing. Do you think the mod team needs to know more than they do now? I'm gonna say Mr. Dutch always. I want to know everything. I want to know everything, but we are held, at bay. Certain reasons, like for buybacks, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anybody should know when buybacks are happening except for the ones doing it. I'm not a big fan of sharing that information and manipulating it, where people are like, "Oh, I know a buyback's coming," because they were part of the team. I'm good with not knowing. I just want to know that they're gonna happen. One more question. Once version 2 comes out, any talks of what the market looks like? When does it start? How? Who? Lock and loaded. I think I need you to elaborate. Once V2 contract comes, any talks of what the market looks like? I'm not sure I understand the question completely. Side note,
I'm hoping forward momentum.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is getting away from the sell pressure and allowing this protocol to actually do what it's meant to do. Get away from the constant sell pressure.
Power's pretty popular right now, like there's it's and we don't have the market action that reflects that, and that's the ring node sucking itself dry. So V2 is going to have some just awesome impacts.
Yeah, no, I agree. When the price did rise to $40, what he noticed was that when you were testing out the social media marketer, man, because I noticed he was posting a lot during that period. Also, do you guys know how many projects Cuss also works on besides Power? I'm going to say Cut is only in Power. I don't think that man has the time to work on another project. And if he is, I'm going to find out. No. I'm in a lot of projects, and I mean in by just as an investor myself. Believe me, devs in different projects is a bad thing. So I don't think I've seen that for any.
And just touching on that last point there, the social media manager was posting a lot during that time, and it did have a good impact. And I think that's definitely going to take off a lot more when he's given a bit more rein. When the V2 drops, he'll be put to full use.
Yeah, I definitely need to get on Digital Duck. Where you at, man? Let's go. Keep the social media going. No.
Yeah.
All right, who's up? Huffy the Huffy the Poofer.
Hey guys, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
This,
mate.
this is the greatest name ever.
I couldn't even say it without
Thanks.
laughing.
Huffy the Pooper.
Okay. I appreciate it, guys. So I had a question about potentially being able to transfer ownership of nodes, etc. And I was wondering if that is something that you guys plan to make available as a feature, uh, like or would you be able to make that available for everyone, or would you require like some functional NFTs to unlock that functionality? It's sort of a question, sort of an idea that I'm kind of throwing out there, because I feel like with what you guys are doing with the over the counter whale power token acquisitions, I feel like it's a good tool to potentially market this project. But if you just straight up start giving away tokens, people are just going to sell it. So I was wondering if you could actually make nodes transferable, so you could actually give away nodes instead of tokens. I'm hoping that makes sense.
Yeah, you know what? I know a couple other protocols who have that ability. Power does not right now. So the only way I know that is doable is via NFTs to make them transferable. I think they have to be the node actually has to be an NFT where you can transfer it out of your wallet and it actually shows up in your wallet, not just on the node manager. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ronan.
Correct.
So to move them, I don't know if a dev could do it, but that gets into we deal with so many tickets on a daily basis of people being scammed, and I'm gonna go down a road. I had 2 people claiming the same wallet. Then there's both of them were willing to send a picture and ID. So now you tell me which one's the real owner. So it gets down some
One of the
ugly.
two.
Yeah, so it gets tough. Transferable is great for us, and it would be a great option. I think the only option is once they become NFTs. I don't know if our nodes will become NFTs or if NFTs will be a side thing. We do not know that. No idea right now.
All right. Sorry, go ahead.
No, just go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I also had a separate question. I'm trying to keep it short, but so I know we're imminently coming up to one of the agendas on the roadmap that was a centralized exchange listing. I'm wondering if that is going to be part of the overall marketing machine strategy and actually going to be, uh, executed at a time where it can add serious momentum to the project. And I was all another. Well, so go ahead, answer that. I just have one more thing after that.
So
It's really short. I
centralized
promise.
exchange, I want to say, I know that's on the roadmap. Definitely have to get through version 2 and make sure we're on the right path first. And obviously, once you get on a centralized exchange, the marketing has to be there. So I would say yes, that would be a huge benefit. Not something on the minds just yet. At least for the mod team, I know from our perspective, it's not something we're thinking of right now because we need to get through for the community with the version 2. But yeah, I could see, down the road, absolutely. Once we get into a centralized exchange, and it's something that I don't even see how you can't market that. That's massive.
Okay, yeah, that's all I had. I only have one more thing. It's more so for the audience. I remember Cut when he first spoke about energy. He said something like, "Make sure you get as much as possible." And listen, Cut says very little, but it carries a lot of meaning. And I've been there when it was 70 cents. A power
Yep.
token was 70 cents, and it went up to 40. If Cut says something, you should listen. If Cut says, "Get as much as possible," you get more than is possible. Just
Yeah.
kidding, not financial advice. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you for that. Thank you. That's funny.
Yeah.
Hey Kai, I haven't heard a word from you. Are you alive over there? Or are you stuffing your face with sushi?
He's always eating sushi.
He's probably been talking on mute, and he's like, "These guys are jerks," and he just doesn't know that he's on mute. All right. So let's see. I have when the price blah blah blah. When the new energy with the new energy token, other than LP pools, will they be solo staking the utility to use the token? So we're not sure about solo staking. I think we talked about that in the beginning. We as the mod team, we only know about 2 pools right now. We aren't certain about solo energy staking or solo power staking. I want to say I don't see why they would. Well, what do you get paid in if energy has been stopped being distributed? So I don't see.
Power. I think everything's paying in power.
Yeah, but if you stake power to get power, a solo side of
Pretty
it.
sure.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
Interesting. Well, we could. We just know there will be two. It'll be power and energy LP and then a power phantom. That's the only ones we know as of right now. Want to bring somebody else up? If price does continue to go lower simply because of the existing sell pressure, could we introduce buy-sell limits, or at least somehow only allow sells if you own nodes, in an attempt to stop price manipulation by large whales buying tokens and dumping on the open market? I don't think we can do that with this contract. It would have to be built into the second contract, and I think with like sell, well, you didn't mention taxes, but like sale taxes like on Spooky, I think most of those are frowned upon. I mean, it's doable, but it's harder. You know, you got to set slippages to like 49% for that to work, type of thing. Am I?
I don't think the node ownership really stops a whale from selling either. If he's going to dump a bunch of tokens, he'll just buy a node to do it.
Yeah, and with our lower tiers too.
Yeah.
I do know, Defrag, good question. I do know there are nodes out there who do that, but I don't think they have the lower tiers. So you could buy a, you know, a one token node. I don't know how that works contract wise, and if it's doable. I would hope we'd look for. I would hope in version 2 they're thinking of a lot of this stuff and what they can and can't do. Sorry, I can't answer that one too clearly on from the mod team at least. Kai, you there? I seen you come off mute. Fairly new to this project and doing my
Hello?
research. There he is. There's the
Hey,
voice.
I've been here the whole time. I apologize. I've been mobile this entire time. I'm in a big city right now, so I've been walking around and stuff, but I promise I've been here. I've been listening. And then I also stupidly forgot that I was on push to talk, so I tried to say something once or twice.
You're fired.
And I was trying to finagle it in the middle of a Ray-Ban store. So but I have been here. I'm with you guys.
Give me some.
Now I'm just driving home though, so I'm here.
Nah, all good. We're just making sure you weren't talking to us on mute this whole time.
Oh no, I'm not that stupid. Only partially.
Fairly new to this project and doing my research. Looks interesting. First AMA. Not sure about the Dark December episode, but sounds bad if a lead dev being ill caused a crash, which leads me to question. I've been looking for answers to what's the team structure, background, etc. Is it listed? Yeah, so it is on the white paper. There is 8 core team members on the dev side. I don't have the white paper in front of me. I know there's a security analysis, financial advisor, lead blockchain developer. There's 8 on the dev side, and there's five moderators, which includes me, Ronan, Andos, Power Mascot, and Dabs.
Yeah, and the dev being sick didn't cause the crash. It just didn't help stabilize it on its way down. I mean, it could have been less damage caused if he wasn't sick. But yeah, it wasn't the cause of the crash.
Good clarity on that, and I apologize if I was not clear on that. So if you guys were here in December, it was, you know, what do we call the December? Rugsember.
Yeah.
It was Ring decided to do their thing, Brig decided to do their thing, and it
Blood
was
Soldier.
Yeah, it
11.
was.
I think I counted 11.
Yeah, there was a lot of rugs during that time period, and it caused a lot of fear in the market, which then brought everything down. I mean, every protocol came down as everybody got scared that all of them were going to start rugging. Sadly, some teams were able to get in front of it and stay moving, keeping the train moving by showing they weren't going nowhere. Sadly, with Power, it was just the mod saying, "Hey, we don't know where he's at. We didn't, you know, we didn't know what was happening
because he had COVID. He wasn't able to respond as quick as he normally would, so which caused a bit more panic."
Yeah, and so it was just a massive amounts of bad stuff going on that did not help the protocol. Communication has gotten 10 times better. We also have communication with the another dev who's in the community. So we have Ghost and Cut who are in here on a day-to-day basis. So things have gotten much better from December. but it was not only because of a sick dev. So just want to thank you for clearing that up, Andos. I apologize if it made it sound like that was it.
There was also the botched update release date that was really fueling a lot of negativity too. It was a perfect storm of I don't know, shit, to be honest.
Oh man, you guys. All right, do you know if you guys, anyone that goes over the treasury ideas already looked into Quaint? Talked with Renegade over the 3-4 days ago. Gippy, so that's something will be added to the list and let people vote on. I did get to look at it. I haven't gotten to dive into it because I get about I'm looking at probably 87 DMs during this AMA as we speak. So I do need to dive into that one a little bit further. I will say I think I've been really pushing, and I'm going to be open about this with you guys. I've been really pushing that I want the financial advisor in the Discord. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not the guy who should take our money and figure out what to do with it. I can put out the votes and collaborate and share information. But I would much rather and feel more comfortable with a financial advisor reviewing stuff and gathering information. So I've been pushing that with Cut, trying to get that information to the devs team to try to get that much more communication from our financial advisor. But while that isn't happening, yes, I take information. The moderators take information. I'm going to start leaning on the community helpers a little bit even more. Sorry, guys, but I'm also going to lean on them and see if we can get some more research being done by a bigger team and then take more to the dev team. Hope that answered your question, Gippy. Is there anybody else who wants to come up and ask questions? I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you guys got to go. I'm actually free, so I can hang out here and answer questions.
I can hang around a little while.
I have to bounce, sadly.
No worries, brother. Let's try to get through at least the ones raising their hands. The ones in the AMA questions I could probably go through later. And Ronan, if you got to bounce, brother, if you want any last words.
Yep. Bye, Felicia's.
Dang.
Valuable input.
Valuable, man. No, I love that guy. Go, welcome.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
How you doing, guys? I had submitted a ticket a while back, and I think you guys put it down as recycling power.
I do.
And I actually wanted to speak with you guys, but what I just wanted to bring forth was regarding that recycling power is it's literally about seeing whether or not you guys are interested in an independent stream, an independent economy from just crypto itself, the whole ecosystem. Where I'm listening to the talk here, everybody's always talking, and in different node projects, they're always talking about nodes, from other projects, and it seems like one project is buying nodes from the other, which is buying from the other. So I was watching a video, and I'm like kind of new to all this, and I was understanding. It kind of seems to me like there's just one basket where everyone's going to, and I think what you guys are doing is fantastic, but I'd also like to see something where it's just totally independent of the crypto ecosystem. And as I had mentioned to you guys before, if you guys can look into that, regardless of what the price is, regardless of wars, regardless of anything like that, this is totally independent. And I don't think any questions regarding, our price point or anything like that would affect, this sort of project. And I really wanted to see if you guys could take a look into it, because a lot of questions that are being asked here, I notice are being asked like in other projects. And I'm realizing that the one thing that can separate any node project from the other is totally going off into a parallel where you're not dependent on any ecosystem in the crypto world.
Real life investments. Real life investments. Right?
Real life tangible investments.
Yes.
And like I told you, like I think I mentioned in that mod ticket, this will forever be sustainable, long lasting. It's not going anywhere, like I told you.
Yeah, no, so 100%. We are interested. Please bear with us. I know people hate hearing that. There's a lot moving on.
Yeah.
And us as mods, so please understand this. Me and Andos, I know Andos is interested as well. there's not a whole lot we can do other than share
Right.
that information with the devs. And then when they're too busy, we're at their mercy, right? So that's what I mean by be
Right.
patient. We're interested. I would have deleted the
Right.
ticket and told you thanks if I wasn't. So we are interested. And I do believe, I think you're right. I do believe moving out of a certain space and expanding outside of just our narrow little place, as I have other plans going on for power as well on the backside, with trying to bridge a gap between the stock investors and DeFi. So just giving a little window there of something I'm working on the backside with a huge protocol, trying to make some kind of partnerships there. But I agree, real life investments would set us apart. How we get there and how we can get the devs interested is how me and Andos have to figure this out, right? We are
Right.
the mod team.
Because
So
I kind of hear the anxiety in people's voice every time they talk about price points and different things. And I was, like I said, I was looking at videos, and I see this, these sort of investments outside of this as something that is not affected by what happens in that one basket in that ecosystem. This is separate, and
yeah,
you'll never have conversations of, oh, the price went down. Once one of these node projects decides to just stabilize themselves in a project outside of crypto, then I think it'll stabilize the price, and nodes will just be flowing in because now they're understanding, wait a minute, they actually have a steady stream outside of investing in other nodes and other nodes investing in them. This is separate. This will never go away. And I really wanted to share that with you and see if that's something that, you're really interested in. Because I think it would make a fabulous, addition to, your revenue stream.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, we agree.
Okay, guys, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. I mean,
No.
you see it there, it's there.
Thank
And
you.
I know you guys are very busy, and I know that you're doing a lot and you're doing a great job. But I just wanted to, give voice to that
No, thank you,
message. Okay?
and by all means, we will get to it. I promise. I know I have a list for I have a list of things I need to get to cut. Right now, the UI, the new UI, the energy, and V2 are kind of the priorities. So just bear with us.
Mhm.
But believe me,
Perfect.
we're with you. Thank you.
Perfect. Have a nice day. Take care.
You too. All right, that was. I agree. Real life investments. The struggle becomes is how does a protocol purchase something? Let's just say in the United States, and then manage it. Right? You got to then hire a management team to take care of it and watch over it for the community. And so that just gets it gets a little bit more involved, probably more involved than what the devs can handle right now. So that's something we got to grow into.
Timing's
Yeah,
also
I mean,
timing's also important.
cut is in a totally different
He comes off mute.
power, right? So
There he
like
is.
there's like a whole thing, and so like Renegade has said is that we we agree with that, but there are so many steps that have to be taken, right? Because it goes from we're a couple smart contracts on the Phantom blockchain to we're an LLC that owns, something that generates enough income to be able to return to investors. I mean, there's massive amounts of liabilities and insurance and paperwork that comes with that. And Cut, being the one man that he is, working on just the contracts alone, that's a lot. So it's something we all want and we're all aware, but we also have to be realistic and understanding that there's a huge, very long, wide bridge that has to be crossed to go from we're a couple of tightly packed smart contracts to we own, investment properties in Canada.
Yeah.
Right. So
has to be done right.
That's an arduous task. That's probably not going to be realistically. I wouldn't even think about dreaming that until at least 2-3 years down the line, just on the paperwork alone. Right. So
yeah, no,
it's something that we aim for. Right. We want to be around that long. But the goal is it's reaching sustainability in the environments and the circles that we are in, and then focus on expanding. Right. You don't want to. You don't ever want your eyes to be bigger than your appetite. Right. So. It's remaining what's realistic and building from there.
Did you see the ticket mascot? Did you see it?
No, I had not.
Okay, I'll tag you in it. It's not only it could be doable. It'd have to be done right still, as it's like an investment and then it's managed. It's a plasma gasification technology. It's pretty cool. I'll tag you in it.
Yeah, please do.
But no, I agree. No matter what the real life investment is, it has to be done right. We would never want to invest in some. Oh yeah, we bought something, and then nobody's managing it, right? We're already. We need to get the investments we have up and running and managed appropriately on a site to where all of us can see it. I need to get there first before I can think of before I feel comfortable. Hey, yeah, we own some condo in Canada. I have no idea what it's doing, but so no, just
It's a duplex. Come on.
oh yeah. Can I rent it out? No, just kidding. Le Pleb.
It's an Airbnb hosted by Power.
Hey, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be rad.
Le Pleb de La Pleb. You're on mute. What a great name.
Yeah, I'm here. I was wondering when you guys so we just ended the energy farming today. When does the dual stake go for the LPs? Is that something that's going to take place tomorrow, in a week, 2 weeks? Do we know when that date is?
So, great question. So just looking at when I asked Cut, he said he's planning on it to happen within the 24 hours. So again, with the new UI and everything, but he's ending this contract once everybody get their staked tokens out, and then move it over to this new contract, the new pools. And his words were he's going to make it available, and his plans were tomorrow. But remember, he's 9 hours ahead of me, so tomorrow is what time is it? It's 11 o'clock his time right now. So he said within 24 hours from when we ended it. So that was the hope, to get the other ones up. I'm going off of what he said was 24 hours. I hate to give out times and dates. I hope it sticks to it, but I know he wants to move everything over as quickly as possible, because the big concern the community had was everybody's pulling out their liquidity. Now everybody's got power and energy. What is everybody going to want to do with it? Dump it. And we don't want that. So trying to get these new ones up so everybody can start staking and doing having utility for the tokens versus just selling is the goal, as quickly as possible.
All right, awesome. And then, is there going to be a single since energy is going forward be the governance token? Is energy going to be a single stake as well, or is it is completely deflationary?
So don't know about the single staking. All I've been given is there will be the two. Should there be more, and what's going to exist from the existing farms right now, I have not gotten visibility to it. So right now, the only two I do know for a fact, because he wrote it in the moderator chat, was the two that I put into the announcement: Power and Energy LP, and the Power and Phantom. Could there be a solo staking? I hope so. I like the solo staking much better than LPs. That's just my personal preference.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, you guys got a lot of questions today. I love it. Move to audience. Try to catch some of these questions. I had over 50 chats in the AMA. Try to see where I'm at. Oh my gosh. APR. Nope, I gotta keep scrolling. Do you guys know, is there any way to create an email subscription for our announcements? Thor just mentioned something about this. Is there a way to create an email subscription from the announcements? Wow. I do not know. I would have to reach out to see how they are going to do that. I'm pretty sure there is a way where we can create something where you then have to provide your emails. I don't know if everybody wants that. I don't know what the difference of checking your Discord notification versus your email notification. I definitely don't want extra stuff in my emails, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'm good. I got enough as it is.
I get enough spam as it is. But it's definitely a possibility. I mean, we can look into it. I can see what Thor's doing. I can reach out to Nylock, and we'll go from there if it's truly something the community wanted. What about introducing fees for sustainability? So I'll say this. What I've noticed, DJ, good question. We have not talked about fees. I know we've mentioned it before. That's not something, monthly fees I'm not a big fan of. But as we purchase validator nodes and the fees that come with those, I could see those coming down the road. I hope not, but I could see it because a lot of other protocols are going that way, as they have to pay the fees for theirs, and then use those fees as buybacks as well, strictly buybacks. But right now, that's not something that's on the table. I know the moderators kind of were like, please don't implement a monthly fee because there's no need for it. We already get a 10% tax. 70% goes back to the reward pool, so it's not something truly needed just yet. But believe me, I think cutting them will be thinking ahead if and when it's needed. I think this also coincided with Bitcoin making a run from 36 to 42. That was in regards to a price running to 40. Lead dev being ill didn't solely contribute to the cash. Thank you, Mr. Nice Guy. There's a lot. I'm over 100 questions in here. You guys want to bring anybody else up? Let's try to get through these.
I gotta head out. I'm driving on the highway and traffic's getting congested, so I gotta get focused up. But
yeah, don't be driving and talking over
DM
here.
me, DM me. I'll answer your questions when I'm home later tonight. As Renegade is always available, I'm always happy to chat and converse and answer questions. Ping us, and we thank y'all for your time and always coming at us every week with really, really great questions. So we will see you guys next Sunday.
All right, Mascot. We'll catch you later, brother. Drive safe.
Yep. Bye.
All right, let's get through these questions. I'll go through the AMA questions in the chat. Permissions. Let's stop the questions for now. There's so many. What's up, Jay? Let's knock out these last 5 questions. Andos, what do you think?
Yep, sounds good.
Jay, can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
What you got?
I'm just new to this. The whole. I'm completely new to this field, so I'm just listening to the comments and what's going on. Really.
Oh, you don't have a question?
Not at the moment. No.
Okay, well then I'm gonna put you back down because you had your hand raised.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's get Merlin from No Nation up. Uh-oh. I sent you an invite, Merlin. Let's get Don Marco up here.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, what's up?
Don?
Yeah, I'm fine. Greetings from Germany.
Hey.
Oh, German.
I have. I'm interested in your thoughts about the metaverse and the war about the different metaverses. Is this an investment case for power? And even someone said real life investment condos in the metaverse. Of course, you can buy land too, or rent land, or invest in play to earn games like Miranda's, and build up their eco structure too. Your thoughts will be interesting for me. Thank you.
I actually made the suggestion to cut. It would have been 2 weeks ago or so about land in the metaverse. Not sure what he did with that suggestion, but it is something that I brought up. I thought it was a good idea.
Which one was it, Andos?
Which land?
Yeah, which metaverse?
Oh, I was talking about sand.
Oh, sand. Okay, I do remember now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a few popping up left, right, and center, but I like sand. I'm old school. But yeah, I like the metaverse. I mean, not too familiar with all the dealings with it, but I think assets everywhere are assets, aren't they?
Yeah,
Seems to be
I'm
where
intrigued
it's
by
going.
it. I'm intrigued by it as well, and I'm not sure where Cut stands on it. So here's what I'll recommend: put it in the Treasury Ideas. If enough people are mentioning it, enough people are talking about it, or you give enough information for me to dive into, I try to pull from the community. I really do. I don't have time to. Sadly, it's insane the amount of different investments out there that to partake in, and I don't get to research it enough. So if you guys are putting stuff out there, I'm grabbing it, looking at it. If I see the same thing 4 times, I'm like, all right, obviously I need to look at this because 7 different people are mentioning it. I grab that information and share it with the team. So by all means, put it in the Treasury Ideas, your metaverse, your ideas. Lay it out there, you guys. The community gets to vote on this stuff. So make it aware.
Thank you. Next time I will comment it in the Treasury Ideas, and then we will see. Thank you.
Thank you. links and more information. When you just say like Metaverse, now I'm like, well, which one? Where am I getting into? God, I want to say I tried one out and I can't even remember the name of it. Now you're gonna make me look. I tried one out where I made my little character and I just couldn't. I was getting dizzy playing it. What game? Which one was it? I can't even find it. Because I've been so busy.
They're popping up every day now too. I mean,
it's a big one.
It's almost like the nodes. Yeah.
Decentraland. God, I couldn't even remember. Yeah, it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's good stuff. Let's bring up Merlin. What happened to you? I invited you up and then you left us. We're gonna bring him up and Sweet Dog. Let's try to knock these questions out. This is probably one of the longer AMAs. And then after Sisa Rosh, I can't even say that. I apologize. I know I'm killing your name there. After you'll be the last question. So Mo Gates, I apologize. I'm gonna have to cut it off at some point. Merlin, what's up?
Hey guys, quick. I don't know if it's a quick question, but see, with this price action, I mean, not to bring the vibe down. I do love this project. With the price action the way it is, we're seeing a ton of nodes, especially superhumans being created. Will this, with the amount of superhumans being created, does this have any negative effect on the longevity or sustainability of this project?
So
and at what point is that even, oh, sorry, go ahead.
At what point is that a concern? Is that a concern?
Yeah, at what point does that concern you guys, and has this been at all calculated or accounted for?
Correct. It was a huge discussion during December, as we were at $1.
Yeah.
And the tokens being paid out then. We are still making nodes. We're still creating, and it's not something our dev team, they're aware of it. They have not made it a red flag concern yet. Yes, we have a lot of superhumans, probably more than, I don't know the node count for Thor's, or not Thor's, for the Odin's, but it has not been brought up as, hey, now it's a concern and we need to cut rewards. I think what would happen would be the first conversation, or capping, right? Okay, hey, no more superhumans and we got to stop those. That conversation hasn't even come to us yet. So I don't think it's a concern just yet, because you go back a month, we cut the rewards from the, when they created the superhumans, it was 0.7. They started at 0.7, whereas Thor was paying, what was it, 2.4? Wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're a month ahead of them from even when they cut the rewards back. If that makes sense.
I think even now our superhuman's comparable to their Thor node.
Yeah. I want to say
this is 1.3 and was 1.3, ours 1.4, I think.
Yeah. And but it took them a month to. Oh yeah, I said 0.7, isn't it? Oh, you're saying 1.4%. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, they took a month longer than us as they were paying out Odin's. So it's just again, Cut having the foresight to understand that, and he cut it long before. It has not come up, Merlin. It's a good question though. It was discussed in December. It was discussed. I mean, people were making them like crazy when we were at $2, $3, $4, $5. It was insane.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And just like that, when things, something I'm pushing for, I hope you guys understand from the community, I will do my best to share, and I know Andos and the rest of the mods will do our best to share the information when we are aware. If there's a conversation starting about nodes being capped, we need to start letting you guys know. That's the energy. Andos, let's talk about how we found out about energy ending, and we were like, wait a minute, what? When's this ending?
Yep.
We need to start sharing this. Oh yeah, you got to unstake. What? Okay, we need to start sharing this. So we started creating bots and then started doing notifications. So we got to share that information, and that's what we try to do. So I hope you guys see that. So when we find out, when we know, the team's on it, at least to the best of our ability. Sweet Dog, what's up?
What's going on, guys? Hey, you know what? This sounds funny. He took my question, so I really don't have a question right now. But I just want to say thank you guys for your hard work and dedication. That's all I could say right now. He took my question.
No worries. That's kind of cool.
Nice man.
Thank you. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
part of it. Absolutely. Well, that doesn't happen. Same question right after each other. Interesting. Wait, LePleb, you already were up here.
Yo, I also wanted to ask, so with the ring node, the leftover from that contract was the a burn mechanism, and so is that same burn mechanism on the power token when nodes are created?
No, none are being burned. They're not being sent to the burn wallet. No. So our circulating supply is still 1 million.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, you got to help me with the name here.
Hi guys, nice to talk to you. My name is Cesarias.
Oh,
you
man.
can say Caesar. It's
Caesar.
easier.
Caesar's good.
Caesar's good.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm horrible
Yeah.
with pronunciation.
Oh, it's very hard name, no problem. I have two questions, one from the community and one by myself, because I'm very active at the German channel, and since today I'm a community helper, and a lot of people asking, is coming in the near future the nodes as NFTs, because they don't want to migrate their cold wallet with the MetaMask wallet. They want to send them to the cold wallet without that the cold wallet was online. This is the first question. Do you know if this coming as NFT or is this no?
So that we don't know. Go ahead, Andos.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say yeah. So it's not confirmed. All we know is there's a hint of the NFTs. We don't know what their utility is going to be. I would like it to be node related, but there's just no confirmation from Cut's side just yet on what the utility of potential and future NFTs will be.
Yeah,
so it's hard to say on that right now.
Yeah, and I do want to see it in a sense, so that we as we evolve in the space, it does truly help people where you lock in your tokens and you could always sell it later, right? I think that's a great feature, and you don't feel trapped. I do love that idea. The other aspect that comes with that, though, as I've seen, I can't even tell you guys how many tickets I've seen where people have been scammed. This does open up that avenue where they could then take your node as well. So the question of getting your nodes onto your ledger, onto your hard wallet, is key, and I hope we can get there. It's just people understanding. We do not know if that's our direction with our NFTs. We know NFTs are coming, but we don't know if they're, as Ando said, node related or a side thing.
What I would say is if it is on the cards for Cut, I believe he would definitely announce it right after V2 is released, because when V2 is released, he'll be able to speak about more of what was added to V2. Why is V2 so different? He'll be able to go through all the things that are possible with V2 that aren't currently possible. And if it is possible, that's when we'll know. That's when he'll tell us after it's released.
Yeah.
Okay. The second question I have is for me personally. And what do you think after contract V2, the pricing from PowerNode, what will be hit? I think personally, $100 to $200 is even possible in the next months. What do you think personally?
Oh, after V2, I think we got asked this last AMA Andos, and I think we mentioned, I think my price range was, I want to say it was 75 to 100 if I couldn't remember, and I think you were in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When we speak about what's possible, I mean anything's possible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked to see it at $100, $200 at all. I wouldn't wake if I woke up one day and I saw it at 150. I wouldn't be like, wow, it's impossible. Like I would say, yep, it's happened. But I would like to see it at a stable 50 to 75. I mean, whatever's sustainable long term. Yeah. I mean, if it was sustainable, if it was $20 for the next 10 years, I'd be happy. So whatever's a sustainable price. That's what's more important.
I agree with that. What's sustainable, what works. I mean, you guys, there's a ton of node projects out there, and I'm going to use one that's doing really well on the Phantom Network. Is Atlas. They came out and they created a system, and they've been doing very well. So my goal, here is I want that. I want sustainable, whether it's $20, $60, $200. I think everybody wants $200. ultimately, I just want something that's going to last and be not, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to see these, 50% declines over because of majority of the contract, right? So anything is possible with V2. I'm going to be honest with you. I just want to get out of this contract sell. It's very frustrating when you do everything you can as a team, you do everything you can with the community, and everybody does what they're supposed to do, and we're purchasing and we're compounding, but all that does is hurt us. And that's frustrating. So I'm chomping at the bit for V2. I know it's not going to just happen overnight, but it should get us away from this contract just constantly turning tokens into Phantom and selling it on us. And if you guys look at the deck screen, you can see it. It's nodes created and portions of it sold. And so just getting out of that will give us endless possibilities, right? Can we get to $100? Absolutely. I won't be shocked.
Yeah, nice. I think sustainability is the most important thing. If this maybe in 7-8 months the same price, we will all happy.
Yeah. Biggest thing is being sustainable, staying here, whether we're $13 or we're $1,300, we want to be here. So how to get there, how to keep moving forward and evolving in this space is in my opinion the biggest thing, right? We got to keep up. Power Thor have been here around the longest, and as you guys see, there's a new protocol like every hour. I feel like there's new ones every single day, and they're innovating. They're changing the space, so we have to keep up. We have to keep moving and doing better to make sure we're keeping up and keeping people involved. So that's our goal. How do we do that?
The passive.
Go ahead.
Sorry, these passive incomes, they are designed to be long term. I mean, if you say, well, could the price be $100 or $200? I mean, Cart could flick a switch tomorrow and buy back and make it $100 if you wanted to, but obviously it wouldn't be sustainable to use up all the treasury to do it. So anything's possible, but if we're talking sustainability, yeah, the market will decide. I think it's still so early, so early. I think I said last week that there's people in the crypto space that don't even know Strong exists yet. So by the time everyone actually starts to discover DeFi and nodes and stuff like that, who knows what can happen, really?
Yeah.
Could really blow up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. You good, Caesar?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for your help in the channels. I appreciate you communicating to them for us, because I can't. So any help.
Yes, no problem.
Like I said, the helpers have been the community helpers. You guys, anytime you guys see them, I just want to say thank you for what they're doing. They're helping us in the community tremendously, and they're doing it with their own time. They are not hired by the team. They're not getting paid. I am trying to utilize the community wallet to reward them from the community. And on that note, I did this week, we utilized, and I'm going to shout out Grim. He's one of the biggest donators into this community wallet. He came up, he raised his hand and I didn't get to him. I apologize. But he donated 50 tokens for me to create a superhuman for the community. And then he also gave, I think, another 8 or 9 for me to finish off God mode or nuclear mode, whatever we're going to call it. And then some more community members donated, and I think we have a superhuman, 2 humans, a micro, and a flat versal. So the community wallet's pumping, and I used that this week to give 2 helpers 5 tokens each. It's not the greatest rewards, but it's better than nothing, and we're trying to do our best with the community wallet. Hopefully we can keep compounding and making it larger where we can reward people and do giveaways. So with that being said, that's all I've got for today's AMA. I hope you guys appreciated the conversations. Andos, do you have any last words?
No, I think we covered it. It's been good.
Yeah. Well, and with that being said, you guys, let's try to keep a good, positive attitude in the chat. I know we're in an ugly market overall, but we got to take care of each other. Let's have honest conversations. Always open to honest conversations, but let's not beat up. Let's not come in with, hey, why is the price down? Right? Like that type of stuff is just very frustrating for the whole community. So let's just try to keep it positive, have honest conversations. That's all I ask for. Have a good Sunday, everybody. Appreciate you.
Peace.